So, welcome. Our festival theme this year is Hi, how are you? And rather than showcasing the classic toxic positivity of the success narrative, we want to focus more on the outsiders, more on the bullied pupils. So, we're only too happy to show solidarity with Ben and his search for himself. With so much love for the craftsmanship behind the style of the film and a real feel for the subject, Living Large seems to be made for Transit 2024. That's why we're excited to have you here to talk with us about it. Welcome, Matej Chlupacek, producer of Living Large.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start right away with the first question. Living Large is particularly enchanting with its lovingly DIY-esque claymation aesthetic and indie looks. How did the idea for this unique style come about and how was it implemented?
It's actually based on Kristina's Dufková's, the director's style she used for her short films. These were like more of 2D animation, hand-drawn animation, and this is her first like puppet animation feature film. It's her debut, but she was inspired by her style in general. She always, when she looks at people, at the puppets, at the characters, she always sees these kind of, I don't want to say creatures, but like when you're watching the film, you can see it's always in this kind of heightened reality. So this is her style in general, and she always tries to look at the world in this kind of way. So yeah.
Okay. You've experimented a lot with the medium of film and you developed a wide range of expertise. You worked on series, documentaries, different types of films, advertisements. But this is your first animated movie. So how did you come to produce a claymation style movie?
This is actually very funny because like our production company Barletta, it exists for 13 years now, and Living Large was the first film we actually got into when we founded the company. Like we found it out because of my debut feature film called Touchless, but like simultaneously, this Living Large project came to us, somehow because Kristina, she used to read the book to her daughter when she was young. Now she's 21 or 22. So like in the meantime, when we were developing and producing the film, of course, her daughter grew up and grew up. So she's now an adult. But the idea came from Kristina to buy this French book called Living Large from Michael Olivier. And we didn't have any experience with producing anything basically. So I just said, yes, it's a great idea. And my fellow producer, Veronica, she started developing the project back at Barletta in 2000. I think it was like 12. Yeah, 2012, I think, and maybe 11. And the film just got bigger and bigger and bigger in scale, and throughout the years, we produced feature films, miniseries, documentaries, advertisement, everything. And Living Large was still not finished, it was still in the production phase. It was shot for 700 days. It was very, very huge project for the scale of ours. So it was tough. It was there from the very beginning, and we just learned how to produce films in the meantime.
Okay, so if I understand right, the production time was from
Like,
2012 till
yeah,
now?
I think it started 2011, and we start the production phase. I mean, like the shooting phase, we started in 2019 or 20, and then it took 700 shooting days plus some, of course, like 3 days, some blocks. When we had to create other stuff like puppets, sets, and stuff like that, because we worked in a very small team. We worked only on 5 sets while doing animation, and only like 15 to 20 people was like involved in the production itself. Of course, like we had a huge team all around us, but like the production team, like on the set in the studio, was like 15 to 20 people only, not like just the animators, but also like set builders, architect, everybody else.
Okay, so with this being such a long production time, what were like particular challenges during this period?
I think like the most challenging was, especially for Kristina, she always mentions this, was to find the energy to keep going on, because like in this huge time frame of 13 years, the film in the making, she sometimes found herself in the position of losing the energy, losing the excitement, enthusiasm to work on the project and keep going on. And there was really tough phase while financing before the production started, when we thought, oh my God, we're not going to make it. We're going to have to return all the money to the funds because we just don't have all the finances secured, and we need more. We need more to find the whole budget. So there was a moment when we were like sitting after like 6 or 7 years, and we're like, fuck, we're not gonna make this happen, you know. And then another investor came in, Eurimatched, like the film fund came in, and everything started to be all right again. But like, yeah, it was pretty challenging.
Luckily, it all went well, and we have this beautiful movie today. um, but with a long production time, Living Large must have like followed along much of your career. How has your growing experience influenced Living Large? And conversely, how has your work on Living Large influenced your other projects?
I think like since the project was there from the very beginning, it's very much influenced by everything I've done, and everything I've done is very much influenced by Living Large. I think it's like vice versa, you know, it always works all around. So I think what's very nice about this project, it's the only project we created where we were only focused on the story and on making it the best possible, and we weren't that much focused on the festival strategy, on the distribution strategy. Like we were only focused on making it a great film, basically. While when doing feature films, like live action feature films, you're always thinking ahead. You're always thinking, oh my God, we need to promote it properly while shooting. We need to create a business plan. We need to create a distribution strategy. We need to find a sales agent. But with Living Large, the film somehow grew on itself, you know, like it somehow lived and lived and lived on. And while we were presenting some extra stuff while we were in the middle of the shooting at Bordeaux Cartoon Movie Market, a sales agent called Goodfellas, formerly known as Wellbunch, saw the snippets from the film, and they were amazed by it. And they just called us. They want to be the distributor, like international sales agent of the film. And we started working together, and everything else is a history. Like they were able to get it into Annecy, they were able to get it into Locarno, Shanghai, of course, Karlovy Vary, and like more than 20 countries were sold. And now we are running for the Oscars for Best Animated Film. You know, we are having our Academy screenings in 2 weeks from now. So it's great what's happening with the film, but what's interesting is that like we never planned it out. You know, it's just the film doing it.
And that's great. So you could basically fully focus on just the artistic side of the movie.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
okay. So you not only work as a producer, you also work as a director. To what extent did your experience as a director influence your work, or to what extent were you even involved in the directing process?
I think not much, because Kristina, she's a very visionary director. And as she's not only the director of this film, she's also like an art director, and she created all the puppets herself. She designed all the environments, all the sets. It's very much influenced by her inner world. And I was there just to be at her side, by her side, to help the project get made, and to be there to advise when she wasn't sure about anything, when we were, for example, in the editing room and we were considering what to cut out, what to leave. Because, like, obviously, when you are cutting out from the animated, when you are cutting something out from the animated film, it means you're cutting out like a month or two of somebody's work. You know, it's not like a film project, like live action project, when you are just cutting out one shooting day and you are set. You ruined like one day of your budget, but like you're cutting out literally like 40 shooting days by cutting one scene off. So that was interesting for me to see these kind of processes, but I never influenced it heavily. You know, I was always there to advise, but Kristina didn't really need it. She always knew what she's getting into and what she's striving for.
Okay. Then, last but not least, what's next? Are there any new projects we can look forward to?
Yeah, totally. We are preparing a new feature film by Kristina. Again, it's called Wish It, and it's about children's dreams, and it's a more of an adventure kind of film for the whole family now.
Okay, sounds amazing. Then, thank you very much for this talk.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure, very interesting, and thanks for the great movie. And to all you guys in the cinema, hope you have a nice day. Hope you have a nice time here at Transit Film Fest, and hopefully I see you at the next cinema.
Thank you very
right.
much for having me. Take care. Enjoy the film.
Ciao.